Hi guys, this is your boy like one F Enduro. Back at it again with another video. So we're gonna talk about some of the stuff that gamers are. Are gamers truly realizing that they got screwed by gaming companies and publishers? How they really understand that? I don't know. I can't tell. But I will say this. I will say this. Gaming, I never had a problem with game developers. Some developers are paid to get nothing first. You know that. Publishing. Even publishers, they're the ones who do more than greed stuff, as quote unquote greed, as people say. And again, my stance always is, you don't like it, don't buy it. If you like it, buy it. And also, the company will only go if you let them do it. So if everybody had bought, if there was more physical bought, the physical games would not be going away. But everybody wanted convenience, so they wanted digital, and bada bing, bada boom, physical is gone. So, what can I say about that? So, so we're gonna talk about gaming online in this one. All right, gaming online, online gaming, online series, stuff like that. Now, of course, you all know I'm a Nintendo fan. Call me a shell fanboy. I don't care. That's not what the argument is today. I'm laughing at this because when the Wii U was around, we had everything free. When the Wii was around, we had free. Was it the best? No. And if you want to get paid, if you want something good, that's kind of what some Nintendo fans are like. Well, man, we gotta pay for this, whatever. First of all, y'all forced them to go that way because y'all wanted it to be like Sony PlayStation, and then they was charging then. So, are you surprised Nintendo started charging? They're charging. Okay. That's what's going on. I'm not surprised, but now people are saying, "Oh, this is too expensive. This is too much. This is whatever." Like, you don't have to buy it online either. Anyway, let's get into the video.
Nintendo Switch 2 and its pricing, I believe there's a reasonable discussion to be had about paying for online subscriptions. This isn't a recent problem we've had, but I think it has gone on for way too long. Nobody has really talked about this either. With the recent reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2 and its pricing, I believe there's a reasonable discussion to be had about paying for online subscriptions. This isn't a recent problem we've had, but I think it has gone on for way too long. Nobody has really talked about this either. When I went to search this topic on YouTube, there actually wasn't as much on this topic as I thought there would be, and definitely not anything recent. I want to bring this to...
I've talked about it, but oh well, it is what it is. I've said stuff because the one thing that got me is the whole that I don't like Nintendo doing is that is in a cloud. I don't like cloud saving. I want to save that shit to my own console, to my own physical stuff. But again, gamers went that route and pushed Nintendo that route. Plus all the other consoles is like, what can I do? It is what it is. It sucks. I'm gonna play my games and have fun with it. That's all I could do.
discussion to life, and hopefully something can be done about it, although I am not sure what that could be. Let's dive into it. First, we have to cover the subscriptions before we get into why they shouldn't exist. We're going to focus
Really?
on the big three, being Xbox Game Pass, PlayStation Plus, and Nintendo Switch Online. There are some specific advantages to each of these, like getting access to a handful of games each month without having to buy them, but overall they are just something that you have to pay for to be able to play with other people online. Xbox
That's
started
true.
this off with Xbox Live in 2002, although I would argue it didn't really gain traction until the Xbox 360 came out in
360.
2005.
Correct.
This was a $50 subscription service for one full year. The 360's competition, the PS3, was completely free for online access, but later on, Sony wanted the additional money that Microsoft was so selfishly getting that they weren't. With the release of the PS4 in late 2013, online access suddenly had to be paid for by PlayStation players for $50 per year as well. Nintendo still offered free online services around this time, but then introduced their own online subscription when the Nintendo Switch came out in 2018. This is still $20 for a standard 1-year subscription. I had to mention that it is still this price because the other two companies got a little bit more greedy. Xbox now sells Game Pass subscriptions for various price ranges, from $10 to $20 a month,
So
or you can buy its most basic form of online access for $60 a year from third-party retailers. But if you don't go to the store for this, or you just can't find one, then you'll be paying $75 per year for the subscription through digital purchase. PlayStation, on the other hand, now charges a whopping $80 for its basic 1-year subscription. Some people might be saying this makes sense because of inflation, so let's dive deeper into the subscriptions.
That one ain't really inflation cost. Again, I've said other stuff as well too. It never is. And again, people forgot when we had the Wii and the Wii U, most of the Wii U, we had an online system in a way. It was free, and Nintendo was losing money because they had to, of course they were monitoring the Miiverse. But again, we had some, and I think Miiverse was very fun and better than what we got now. To be, if I have to be honest with you, but yay, it costs moolah now.
Let's start with the cheapest option, the Nintendo Switch. For $20 a year, you get very, very choppy, almost unplayable online access. You also get a library of super old classic games, cloud storage for saved data, and a smartphone app. At least it's only $20, but for only more than double the price, you can get even more older games and an Animal Crossing game. I will just leave that to the side for now. Xbox is the next cheapest, and in my opinion, has the most bang for your buck, but I'm still very much against it. For the most basic subscription that you get online access, as well as access to a curated library of about 25 games. If you want to upgrade to Game Pass Ultimate, Microsoft will instead charge you $20 a month, with no clear answer on how you can get a 1-year subscription. For those still thinking about it, that's an astounding $240 a year. Now this does give you access to hundreds of games, day one games, and other perks, but once you stop paying for it, you no longer have access to any of these games. You are essentially saving money from no longer buying games every year, but you also no longer own any. These games also rotate out, so you still have to buy the games that you like if they are no longer offered. This pass also gives these perks to your PC and its games. Lastly, we have PlayStation. With their most basic subscription, you can get online access, monthly games to download, and cloud storage for saved data. If you're looking for the premium package for the low price of $160 a year, you can get access to a catalog covering all PlayStation games from PS1 to PS5, access to game trials for select titles, and access to PS5 cloud streaming. The games offered are only around for as long as you pay for the service, so once again, you do not own any of these games. At least Sony and Microsoft are offering a decent amount of content for these subscriptions, but these prices are still absurd. To recap the lowest and highest prices, Nintendo offers a base subscription of $20 per year and a premium offer of $50 per year for an individual. Xbox's basic Game Pass is $60 to $75 per year, or the Ultimate Pass for $240 a year. And finally, PlayStation offers a base subscription of $80 per year, or a premium offer of $160 per year.
That's a lot.
Now that we know about subscriptions, why exactly do we have to pay for them to play online? I believe that there's really no reason here other than greed. Everybody has to pay for the console initially, which ranges from around $300 to $500. Then everyone needs at least one game to play, which is around $70 on average for one game, or $90 when the Switch 2 comes out. Then, with their poorly designed controllers across the board getting stick drift, you're probably buying another controller or two at around $70 each. That's already around $500 to $700 per person, and that's if each person only buys one game, which is unreasonable to assume. Add in the subscription costs and a few more games, you're probably getting about $1,000 from each person per console. Then multiply that by the hundreds of millions of consoles that have sold. I really don't understand why we're still paying to play all.
Because you gotta run the infrastructure, motherfucker. What the fuck you think you're doing? You think it's easy? You pay that shit in your damn phone bill. You think you're not? You pay the same thing for your internet. You gotta pay for the infrastructure for everything to work. Really? Things have changed now. The Wii U was free and you had the internet, but we weren't texting, we weren't chatting. You're gonna play games with each other for free. You're gonna use Discord or Google Chat like we did, and I get that. But That was 300. That was 13 million people. 20 million at the most with everything if you add it over years. But let's go with that. 13 million people. Now you got 150 million games. Let's break it down a little because most people have multiple switches. So let's say about 120 million people playing switches now. Not everybody's buying it online. I give you that. So let's go 100 million. And then you're playing games that's kind of like needs to be tight. You have to build that infrastructure so they could talk to each other as well. I'm sorry, this is not even a Nintendo thing. This is just straight up console to console stuff. It's either two things, and and I wish people could understand that. It's either two things. It's either you want it free, and that level you need to give up your rights to a lot of stuff, so they can record you, can do the stuff, and they can still do it anyway without that. But that, or you have them do certain things. When the Wii U was around, I had my credit card on my console because they did a key to randomize the numbers so I could buy games instantly, whatever. You think I got my credit card on my Switch? Hells no. Because they use the same system as Xbox or PlayStation. Nope. We already done seen the PlayStation Network got hacked multiple times and lost multiple informations. So I'm not doing none of that. I know about a digital game one the PlayStation Network, and I ain't gonna buy one. I bought on the Switch, and I bought on PC, but more Switch than PC. But yeah,
Online. Then there's all this bullshit too, which I believe is where they make most of their money. Then there's the games that I have complained about before on this channel. As I've said before, we pay full price for games that appear to be half finished a lot of the time,
you
yet we're
do.
still paying additional money in a way just to play them online. It would make me feel a whole lot better if these games were half the price for being half finished. Or, and I'm just spitballing here, maybe not make me pay to play these broken games online.
Then you don't buy them. Like, it's not that easy. You gotta keep it up with all the people who want to play the same game as you. No. There's only one series. I've said it multiple times before, and one company. I've said that multiple times before. There's one series that I will play. I will try to get, unless I really hear some bad things, and that's Metroid. Because I'm a Metroid fanboy, fanatic, whatever you want to call me. That I'm a Metroid. That's my favorite series of all time. One, two. Most Nintendo games run out of the box. Not all the time. We know that. Scarlet and the Pokemon had this problem. Pokemon company, get your shit together. And yes, they rushed Mario, Luigi Battleship. I didn't have no problems, but other people did. So I'm not gonna not gaslight those people. They did that, and also Echoes of Wind Zone, which I never played, but also I saw that it was slowing down and stuff. They rushed the games them to get it out. They should have waited a little bit more. But hey, they wanted a feature packed year because Nintendo is the only publisher and game developer that release more than 5 games every year. But again, EA and all that stuff get 2 3 games out. Everybody's making it out. You got your football, you got your Madden, you got your FIFA, whatever, and maybe a Need for Speed if it's not in that year, a big game, and that's about it. Bethesda release one game every couple of years. Rockstar releases one game every couple of years as well too, but they get a lot of praise while one company keep on pushing out multiple games. Sony doesn't do that. Xbox doesn't do that. But I digress.
There are many games out there that are perfectly fine and fun to play, but even having to talk about unfinished games being released shouldn't be a thing in the first place. There are
It
also
shouldn't,
certain
but
games out
people
there
buy
that
it
are
still.
completely useless without online play, such as Destiny 2 or The Division 2. If you buy a
True.
game and then find out that it can't be played unless you buy a subscription, what is the point of even owning the game if you don't want that subscription? It just becomes
Exactly.
a paperweight, and a poor one at that. I genuinely don't see the point of having to pay for online access in any capacity, so maybe someone can help me out with that in the comments. This just further
Infrastructure.
supports my decision to switch to PC, where you can play everything online for free for the most part.
You still buy. Okay. Free for the most part. Thank you for saying that, because for the most part, you're right. For the most part. And that's where it is. See, The PC has IP. We're gonna ping to that so we could get stuff like that, and get constant IP, but it's not the same. It does this different thing. It's a different coding to get the games to run from to get from one console to the other console. You can't use a simple PC code to do that to do that. But again, whatever. It is what it is.
Another thing to keep in mind here is the time that you have available to play video games. Whether you are in school or have a job, you have a pretty limited amount of time for games. So
Yes.
sure, these subscriptions could offer you all the games in the world, but when will you have time to play them? Odds are, you're going to stick to a select few games that are your favorites to progress through and build
You
up your
should.
account on them.
Yep,
And then
you
maybe
should.
try out a new game here and there. I'm sure that when you feel nostalgic, you love the idea of being able to go back and play the old game that you're thinking about, but that is not your everyday experience. That's when you can pay for a cheap 1 month subscription if you really want to play something, but
What?
even then, you are going to have to pay it over and over again anytime this feeling hits you. This is just another reason why owning games is so much better than having limited access to them. Having
I
an
give you
online
that.
play be a prisoner behind this glorified service of seemingly unlimited games is just a way these companies essentially force you into paying for it. I hope you enjoyed this video and share my opinion on this. Please comment down below on what you think the solution should be here, and I hope to see you on the next one.
Well, it's a day game.
Okay, I got you. Again, I have online because of certain things. Not really a lot. Mostly some indie games, whatever. I play Mario Kart. What else do I play on Switch? Mario Kart. Online wise, that's basically about it. Smash Brothers. My sister loves Smash, so yeah, that's about it. Well, we got it because we have the family plan, which is $80, and we have all the people in there and they put in their money, so it's not expensive to us. Point taken. But I get what you're saying, my friend. My point is, if it was me by myself, 100% honest with you, if it was me by myself, I wouldn't pay for online. Why? Because I'm not a multiplayer. I'm a single player person. Always has been in the past. I don't know in the future because of certain games, but Mario Kart World looks like a good game, so yeah, it'll be that. So I'll do that in that situation. But this, nah, can't. But anyway, you prove your point. I respect it. I got you on that. Well, let me move from that situation. So hey, that's all I can say. People make the decisions. It's up to you to make decisions on what game you want to play. If you want to online, play online. If you don't like online, don't like online. I never was a Call of Duty. I barely play Call of Duty online. I think I was back in the Wii days I did that. Outside of that, and the Wii U maybe. Outside of that, because it was free. I ain't paying no freaking on. I ain't playing no Call of Duty out online. Nah, I did what I gotta do. So that's supposed to be it. But this is a part of the people hobbling and crying. Gaming is what it is. You have a choice. Move with the choice to make the right decision to you. If you're an online person, you play a lot of games online. Okay, if you don't, then you don't have to pay for it. That's a personal situation for you. And if you do it all digital, well, that's up to you too, because you're crazy. Ain't no way. I'm not doing all digital console. Not the way that I see these people do it. So I'll leave it at that. Remember, I'll catch y'all next time. Remember, there's no perfect games out there. What's perfect to you, what's perfect to me. What's perfect to me is not perfect to you. Simply enjoy your games on all consoles, including PC and mobile devices. Peace.